Hey, this is Andrew Cowan from juicefiend.com. Today I've got an experiment that I'd love to share with you. We've got some Cavolo Nero kale, or Dino kale here, and I've got a set of new electronic kitchen scales. So what I want to do is weigh exactly how much kale we've got here, and then weigh how much juice I get out at the end of it, just to see how much juice comes from a set amount of kale. So let's just get started. This is the first time I've actually used my scales, so I'm quite excited. So just drop the bowl on and then zero that. I get my kale from a farmer's market which is grown quite near my house, and the guys that grow it are organic farmers, and the kale's in a great state, so I don't wash it prior to using it. So let's just find out how much they give me in each bag. Okay, that's a lot more than I thought. That's 222 grams. Okay, so I'm just going to get started, juice the kale, and then find out how much liquid weight that's going to give us. Turn the juicer on. Okay, here we go. So just rolling up leaves makes it go in nice and easy. And we love juicing greens in this juicer. Oh, I'm going to have to use the plunger. Okay, there we go. This feels a little bit wet, so I'm going to feed this back through. I bought this kale a couple of days ago, so it might not give quite as much juice as if I juiced it the day I bought it. There we go, it seems to be pulling it in quite nicely now. Give it a good twist. It's not quite self-feeding, but not too far off. Don't have to push down too hard with the plunger. So in case you don't know, this is an Omega J8006 juicer, which is the best juicer I've ever had for leafy green vegetables like kale. It runs quite quiet as well, so that's quite nice. Just a few more pieces to go, and then we can weigh the juice just to find out exactly how efficient this juicer is. Two more. So if there's no real stock, I just tear it up and feed it in like that. This is definitely the favourite type, or my favourite type of kale at the moment. The other kale that I've been drinking quite a bit of recently is Red Russian, and that seems to feed into the juicer quite nicely actually. I had some curly kale this morning, which was a bit of a nightmare to feed in. There we go, that's first self-feeding piece. Self-feeding piece. Okay, so we're almost done. I usually let it run for a good 30 seconds or so once I've fed in the last piece of kale, just to see how much juice it's going to get out. Okay, so we're done with this bowl. I can reset my scales and put the glass on. Reset, and we're back to 0. Okay, so we'll say that's roughly done. Turn the juicer off. This is another thing I like to do with this juicer. If you've already got a machine like this, then you're probably aware of this trick, but if you've never used one before, this is pretty cool. Just open the juicer so we can disconnect this whole section, and then just tip it up and down, and you can see there's still quite a lot of juice actually in the machine that we can get out. Okay, so pretty much done. And we've got some lovely green juice right here. It is a little bit frothy on the top, but it goes down just the same. Okay, so the moment of truth. Let's find out how much we get. Okay, that's pretty much everything there. And it's saying 131 grams. So if you remember at the start we had 222 grams of kale. So that gives us a difference of 91. So that's presumably just this pulp here. And if we open this up we can see what's still inside the juicer. I mean, there is still quite a bit of pulp and kind of liquidy type stuff. And then we've got little bits here on the auger itself. Now what potentially we could do to try and extract a little bit more juice would be to run the pulp through a second time, and that might get us a few more grams of juice. But that's the first time I've used my kitchen scales, and I'm quite happy with the experiment that we've just run. So from 222 grams of dino kale, that's given me 131 grams of juice, which I'm just going to have just now. Cheers. Green juice. So my name's Andy Cowan from juicefiend.com. Cheers.